Yeah, seems like we were just here last night, obviously with another game against AKU. Obviously, a very quick turnaround here versus Tennessee Tech. Our guys are going to be ready to roll. We're going to be ready to compete for 40 minutes out there. We're going to give a lot better effort than we gave against EKU. Like I said, man, we're excited to get back out here and play and get some things corrected.
First question from Adam.
Coach, what can we expect from Tennessee Tech in terms of the style that they play?
They're big, Adam. They got really good size. They're athletic. They're going to play a lot of on offensively. They're going to play with a ton of space on the floor, 4 out, 1 in, times even 5 out, depending upon who they have in the game. Defensively, they'll be mainly man-to-man, half-court man-to-man defensive team, which we really haven't seen much of yet this year. It seems like just with the opponents that we play, we haven't really been able to run a whole lot of offense. But I'd say a little bit more traditional man-to-man defensive team on the defensive side.
Brandon, it looks like you have a question. You put an emoji up on your screen.
Oh, yeah. Are we still doing it that way?
Yeah, either that or the button down below.
Or just firing? All right, I'll fire. Travis, I know you'd probably rather every game go like the first one against Oakland, but can you, besides wanting to pull your hair out, is there any benefit to those 3 games this early in the season? I know it's probably frustrating to watch on tape. Practice probably wasn't fun to start, but just being able to, I know you don't like, maybe not like to use the phrase build character, but learn how to win in different ways early in the year that can help you later on.
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously it's early on in the year. We got to get a lot better. There's a lot of areas that we got to get better. But we're going to be in a lot of close games this year, and you got to be able to operate down the stretch. And we've made a lot of mistakes during those times, so there's been some really good teachable moments that we need to take moving forward. With our schedule, like I said, there's going to be a lot of close games. So, and we've been able to see a lot of different styles. Whether Oakland played, I believe, 40 minutes straight of zone. You have EKU who presses for 40 minutes. You have Bradley, who's going to be kind of a big, tough, physical team, and Toledo's going to be more of an offensive-based team. We've seen a little bit of every different style so far in this year, which I like.
Next question from Adam.
We talked last night about Dwan Odoms' struggles in that game, and I'm not sure because of everything that's going on with COVID if you're actually able to sit down in the same room and like dissect that film with him in kind of a one-on-one setting. I'm curious if you did that, and what do you show him from that game? Like how do you show him a poor performance and help him turn that into growth down the road?
Yeah, we always watch film with everybody, after the game. But I had a chance to sit down with him. He didn't play well. He looked like a freshman last night. I told him, man, this isn't St. Francis anymore. This isn't high school. You got to prepare the same way for every single game. He wasn't ready, and that's on me. And we got to get him there, but he's got to get a lot better. He's got to handle pressure. Up until this point, I think the first 3 games, Adam, I think he had 14 assists, 2 turnovers. And I think he had 7 assists, 7 turnovers last night, and just careless with the ball. I told him he's got to value it. Part of it, he had turnovers in every different fashion and form in that game. Whether it was trying to throw the ball ahead in transition a couple times, whether it was trying to drive it when nothing was there. Couple were against the press. It was kind of runs the gamut as far as where his turnovers were, and he's got to get better. He's just got to value it, and he's been really good in practice in it. That's where I told him, I said, hey, listen, you get rid of this. You got to see it. You got to get better. You got to learn how to handle pressure every single day, and he's got to continue to get better from it. Same thing defensively, because I didn't think his defensive effort was there as well, especially early on in the game. He's just got to be a heck of a lot better. He's got to be ready. There's no off days at this level.
And what was his response to I can imagine that this was probably the first time in his college career when, I'm sure that you've gotten on him in practice, but this is probably kind of his first dose of criticism. Like, what was it like for him to go over that and see it and kind of digest it with you?
He was great. He's a winner. he's a pleaser. He's going to try to do everything the right way. He wants to do really well. He cares. There's a high level of care, so he takes it well. Again, he just gotta. It's like I told him, man. It's got to build. It's got to get better every single day. And we got to learn those end of game situations as well. Like he was supposed to foul full court when the young man came down his foot. He actually shot a long two. He was supposed to foul, and just like little things like that, we got to get those things corrected. 'Cause otherwise, they're really going to bite us in the rear end moving forward. So. He's a good young man. Again, like he wants to win. He works at it. He's going to continue to get better.
Adam?
You've talked a lot about defense and how playing defense to your expectations, that's always going to give you guys a chance to be in a game. What needs to happen at that end of the floor for this team to take a positive step defensively?
Adam, I think we got to compete for 40 minutes. I thought our guys looked exhausted last night, just to be honest, especially there in the second half. They scored a lot off of second chance points and turnovers, right? That's where they really got us. They got us a few times in our ball screen defense, but in general, most of the time it was off turnovers and second chance shots. We got to block out better. We don't have anybody that's 7'2". 275 pounds. So we gotta create a bigger pocket when we rebound. What I mean by pocket is there should be almost like it's like in football, when the offensive line's trying to protect the quarterback. It's the same thing. Like when we block out, we should create a big pocket around the rim. So just standing in front of somebody isn't good enough. We got to be physical. We got to drive them back. Because again, we're missing too many of those balls that are kind of 50-50-ish. But again, we're not the longest, biggest team in the Big East. I know that, and so it's like we got to be able to move them back and then go get the ball. I think that's critically important, and I think that's hurt us in a couple games this year on the glass, and that's concerning. But we got to take care of the ball. We got to get our defense set right to give us a shot, and whether that's in our transition defense or off of turnovers. Well, I didn't think it was up to par last night against Eastern Kentucky.
Any other questions?
Travis, I think Zach had a career high 24 last night. Just how important and how much of a key to your offense is he? I mean, even when you guys might be struggling, like you said, maybe turning the ball over or struggling with the press, how important is he to just your success as a team?
Very. Zach's a tremendous player. He can score in a lot of different ways. Obviously, he had 24 last night. He can shoot the ball. He can drive it. You can operate at the high post area. He can post up. He scores in a lot of different ways. He rebounded the ball well. He had 13 rebounds. We need him to continue to be better defensively. I thought he was probably had his worst defensive performance last night of the year. He's got to be a heck of a lot better on that end of the floor. But he is vital to our success.
I guess I'll ask one more just because it's on the weekly calendar, and it's kind of a cliche question, but how do you make sure your team doesn't overlook this next game when you got the shootout looming?
Honestly, Brandon, we haven't even talked about the shootout, and we're just talking about obviously Tennessee Tech, making sure we're locked in, making sure we're focused. We take it one game at a time. We'll deal with that when that comes.
Good. Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thanks, Travis.